Го следите неделното интервју на Радио Слободна Европа. Наша денешна гостинка е амбасадорката на Велика Британија во Македонија, Рејчел Галовеј. Господја Галовеј, потпишувањето на преспанскиот договор меѓу Македонија и Грција за Македонија значи деблокирање на европските и атлантските интеграции. Какво значење овој договор има за западните земји, за НАТО и Европската Унија?
Well, as we said, the agreement was a very courageous and bold decision from Prime Ministers Tsipras and Prime Minister Zaev here to try to find an agreement to unblock the problems between Greece and Macedonia and to help Macedonia move forward in its Euro-Atlantic aspirations. The West and the European countries want to see a stable and prosperous Macedonia for all of its citizens and to see a stable and prosperous Western Balkans. And the agreement shows us what can be achieved if leaders take bold decisions. We're already seeing now flights between Athens and Skopje. This will improve the lives of citizens in both countries. We're seeing the agreement between Macedonia and Bulgaria improve relations. We're also seeing evidence of other forms of cooperation in the region. Macedonia and Serbia, Macedonia and Kosovo, Macedonia and Albania all opening cooperation on borders and at customs, which will facilitate greater trade, will facilitate greater travel for people across the region.
Доколку биде потпишан преспанскиот договор, какво влијание ќе има тој за целокупната стабилност и безбедност во регионот?
I think all the examples I've just given are the first examples you'll see of stability and prosperity. We saw in Montenegro, after Montenegro joined NATO, an increase in trade. We saw it in other countries that have joined NATO and other countries that have started their accession processes towards the EU. And greater investment in Macedonia will increase Macedonia's prosperity. It will increase Macedonia's stability. Greater economic trade and person-to-person links across the region will also do that.
Велика Британија неодамна ја обвини Русија за нападот врз поранешниот руски шпион Сергеј Скрипал. Како го оценувате руското влијание во Македонија и во регионот?
I mean, you mentioned the Skripal incident, which obviously the UK took very seriously. It's important that all countries take part in the international rules-based system and follow those rules. And if countries don't, then there needs to be appropriate action, whether that's bilateral action through the UN, through the EU, through other institutions. Our view for Macedonia is a sovereign nation, and successive governments have said they want Macedonia to join NATO and the EU. The citizens of Macedonia have consistently said they want to be in NATO and the EU. So that's the process we support, and that's the route that we support for Macedonia.
Во насока на руското влијание во регионот, дали сметате дека македонските институции треба да направат некаква стратегија во врска со тоа?
I think it's part of the country's overall reform of efforts. It's about strengthening the institutions, and it's about tackling corruption, and it's about public administration reform. Because when those areas are strong, the country is much more able to tackle malign influence, whether it's coming from external sources or whether it's actually coming from within the country as well.
Како гледате на однесувањето на власта, но и на опозицијата во Македонија во однос на решавањето на проблемот со името меѓу Македонија и Грција?
Well, I think the government took a bold decision to try to resolve it. The Prespa deal was a historic deal, and now we see the process moving forward. So the referendum was an opportunity for Macedonian citizens to have a say, and we now have the process in Parliament. So what we would do is encourage both the government and the opposition to engage constructively in Parliament to find a consensus and a constitutional way forward.
Поранешниот премиер Никола Груевски побара азил во Унгарија. Какво ќе биде значењето за земја членка од Европска Унија во однос на владењето на правото, доколку на Груевски му биде одобрен азил во Унгарија?
Our perspective on this has always been that the rule of law is vital for Macedonia's future. Macedonia is coming out of a political crisis, and for that exit from the crisis to be sustainable and to be successful, and a crisis that was in part about accountability, we need to see the rule of law being followed, and we need to see those allegations being processed in line with Macedonia's constitution and the rule of law.
Како гледате на идниот развој на настаните во Европа со оглед на тоа дека Велика Британија ја напушта Европската Унија и со оглед на разногласието во Европската Унија?
Well, the European Union is made up of sovereign nations, and it's an organisation where sovereign nations have chosen to come together to take decisions together. So the British people have chosen that Britain is leaving the European Union, so that's the process we're working on, and the other countries are staying and will continue to find ways to work together as they always have done, even though at times countries lean in different directions and want different things out of the Union. But the point is they are choosing to stay in it and make those decisions together.
Што мислите за неодамнешните предупредувања на францускиот претседател Емануел Макрон во однос на ширењето на национализмот во Европа?
Yes, I think he makes a serious point, and he made it at a serious time, the weekend of the remembrance of 100 years since the end of the First World War. And we see in different countries people reacting to different grievances in different ways, whether that's voting for new parties on the left, new parties on the right, in some places the rise of nationalism. And I think we all have to work very hard to work out what this means for what we're delivering for our citizens, what our citizens want, and how in a changing environment we can still cooperate and work together in a positive way.
Каква е вашата оценка во однос на работата на македонската влада, во однос на спроведувањето на реформите во правосудството, во однос на борбата против корупцијата и медиумските слободи?
Yeah, well, these are all very important areas for reform, and the government's just released its new plan, Plan 18, which focuses on the first two of those. And they're also all areas where we're giving support. So support to the judicial reforms. We've been working with the media in different programs and different areas, and we'd like to see more progress in these areas over the coming months.
Дали верувате дека неопходните реформи ќе бидат завршени до средината на 2019 година, кога треба да почнат пристапните преговори со Европската Унија?
I think we've seen the plan, it's been announced. We've seen the areas where reforms have already started, and I think what we need to see now is more effort and more work in each of those areas, and we stand ready to continue the cooperation that we have with the government and the administration in these areas.
Во последните децении Велика Британија имаше голем проблем во однос на загадениот воздух. Сега македонските градови се едни од најзагадените во Европа. Може ли да споделите дел од искуствата во однос на тоа како Велика Британија го решаваше проблемот со аерозагадувањето?
Yes, well, it is clearly a very serious issue. I've not been here for the worst of the pollution yet, but I've talked to people about it, and we're working with Macedonia in a few different areas on resolving the problem. The most recent being we launched a new energy strategy where we're helping Macedonia to develop a new strategy which will look at the whole range of energy issues, including renewable energy and cleaner energy options. But dealing with a problem like pollution needs to be on so many different levels. You need government action, you need local municipalities to take action, you need the different industries to take action, and you need citizens to take action. So over the years we've had a whole range of different strategies in the UK. The larger cities such as London have congestion charges to try and reduce traffic. We're banning single-use plastics. In fact, the embassy here is currently developing our own strategy on how we can stop having single-use plastics in the embassy. We've had a ban on, we're trying to reduce use of coal for central heating. We'll be banning fossil fuel cars by 2040. So these are a number of the areas we're working in.
Ви благодарам за интервјуто.
Thank you.
Почитувани гледачи, го следевте неделното интервју на Радио Слободна Европа. До гледање.